A messy home isn't just a nuisance, it's a silent threat. Studies from Princeton and UCLA show that clutter doesn't just crowd your space, it clouds your brain. It raises stress, disrupts sleep, and over time, chips away at your mental and physical health. And for older adults, that mess on the floor could be the reason you fall. That pile of papers? It's quietly draining your energy. But here's what most people don't realize. The cleanest, calmest homes aren't the result of deep scrubbing or big cleaning days. They're built on tiny habits. 12 simple actions. Done daily. Effortless, even. And today, I'll show you exactly what they are, so your home doesn't just look clean, it feels like peace. Now let's start with something so simple, yet so powerful, it often gets overlooked. Making your bed. You might laugh and think, really, doctor? That's your big tip? But I promise you, there's more to it than meets the eye. Every morning, the moment you get up, you have a choice. You can walk away, leave the covers tangled, the pillows pushed to the side, and start your day with that one small bit of disorder, where you can spend 2 minutes straightening things up and give yourself your first win of the day. You see, our brains love closure. Making the bed isn't about impressing anyone, it's about sending your mind a signal that the day has started, and you're in control. Research actually shows that people who make their beds every morning feel more productive, more positive, and less anxious. It's also a little bit of momentum. When one thing looks neat, you're more likely to keep the rest of the room neat too. It's like a chain reaction. And I've seen it with my own patients. The ones who keep a tidy bedroom? They tend to keep up with their meds. They remember to eat on time. They feel more stable, more in control of their day. And look, it doesn't have to be perfect. You're not preparing a hotel suite. Just pull up the sheets, fluff the pillow a little, and take a breath. That's it. It might seem small. But small things done daily, that's the real secret to a calm, clean home. Now let's talk about clutter. It's sneaky, isn't it? One pair of shoes by the door. A coffee mug on the side table. Yesterday's mail still sitting unopened. Before you know it, it feels like the house is closing in on you. And you didn't even notice it happening. Here's what I've learned, clutter doesn't arrive all at once. It drips in. Quietly. Slowly. Until one day, it's everywhere. The trick? Stop it before it settles. I encourage my older patients to follow a simple rule: if you touch it once, deal with it then. Put your glasses back where they belong. Take the mail out of your hands and into the recycle bin or a folder. Return the blanket to the couch instead of letting it slide off the armrest. When you do this throughout the day, you'll never need to set aside a whole Saturday just to declutter. Your space will never feel like a mess that's waiting to be cleaned. It'll just stay light. Stay easy. And more than anything else, that helps your mind. You may not realize how much visual noise stresses you out. But when everything is in its place, your nervous system can finally relax. And that peace? It's priceless. All right, take a deep breath. We've only just begun, but you're already on your way. Let me ask you something. Have you ever walked into the kitchen, planning to make a cup of tea, only to spot crumbs on the counter, maybe a sticky ring from a mug or a little dust along the edge of the table? And suddenly, that peaceful moment you were hoping for feels a little less peaceful. It's amazing how something as small as a smudge or a few crumbs can make a room feel messy. That's why one of the best habits I've seen, especially in folks who keep beautiful homes, is wiping surfaces every single day. Not a deep scrub. Just a gentle swipe. Maybe it's after brushing your teeth, you wipe down the bathroom sink. Or right after breakfast, you give the counter a once-over with a damp cloth. Just like that, the space stays fresh. And the job never piles up. You don't need fancy sprays or harsh chemicals. Honestly, a bit of warm water, a drop of vinegar, or even a dry microfiber cloth is often enough. It's not about disinfecting every square inch, it's about keeping the space looking cared for. The best part? When your surfaces stay clean, you're less likely to clutter them up. A clear countertop invites calm. A wiped-down table feels like an open invitation to sit, eat, relax. These little things matter more than we think. Now let's talk about something we all battle, laundry. It starts with a few shirts in the basket. Then somehow, without warning, you've got a mountain of clothes and no idea where to begin. And let's be honest, hauling big piles, bending over, folding for an hour, it's not exactly kind on an aging back. But here's a better way, one small load a day. Just a few towels. A handful of shirts. Whatever fits easily in the machine. If you start a load while you're having your coffee or winding down after dinner, it won't feel like a chore, it'll feel like part of your rhythm. This habit does something wonderful. It turns laundry from a burden into a breeze. Folding becomes manageable. Putting clothes away feels light. And you're never left digging for clean socks or stressing over a full basket again. I had a patient once, Miss Angela, 78 years old. She told me laundry used to wear her out every weekend, until she started doing just a bit each day. She said it gave her back her Saturdays. And her knees thanked her, too. Sometimes, it's not about doing more. It's about doing less, more often. And speaking of doing just a little, let's talk about the sink. You know that sinking feeling, no pun intended, when you walk into the kitchen in the morning and see a pile of dishes from the night before. It's like waking up already behind. The folks with the calmest homes? They never let dishes sleep overnight. It only takes 5 minutes, honestly, sometimes less. Rinse, load the dishwasher, or wash a few by hand. And when you do it right after dinner, you wake up to a kitchen that's clean, ready, welcoming. I like to say, clean sink, clean mind. Because when the first thing you see in the morning is clear, shiny, and peaceful, it sets the tone for the whole day. I know it can be tempting to say, I'll do it later. Especially when your feet are tired. But trust me, future you will thank you. And remember, every time you complete one of these little habits, you're not just cleaning a home. You're creating a space that supports you. That comforts you. That reflects the care you've given it. And that, in itself, is beautiful. Now let's talk about something deceptively small, but in most homes, it causes some of the biggest headaches, paper clutter. Receipts, coupons, bills, flyers, notes to yourself, old appointment cards, it all seems harmless at first. But let it pile up, and suddenly your kitchen counter turns into a paper avalanche. And the more it grows, the more you avoid it, right? Here's the difference I've noticed in homes that feel truly peaceful. The people living there handle paper the moment it walks through the door. That means the junk mail goes straight into the recycling bin. The bill gets filed in its spot. The grocery list gets pinned to the fridge. Done. It takes less than a minute. But it saves you hours of stress later. One of my patients, Mr. Harold, he's 82 now, told me he used to misplace important papers all the time. Insurance forms, tax letters, even a birthday card from his granddaughter. Now, he keeps a little basket by the door. He sorts the mail the moment it arrives. Once a week, he goes through the basket, tosses what he doesn't need, and files the rest. No drama. No overwhelm. It's amazing how something so small can restore so much order. And speaking of restoring things, let's talk about the air in your home. Have you ever walked into a room and thought, it just feels stuffy in here, even if everything looks clean? That's because air matters. The way your home feels isn't just visual, it's also sensory. And seniors with the freshest feeling homes? They open a window every single day. Just 10 minutes of fresh air in the morning can do wonders. It sweeps out stale smells, clears lingering cooking odors, reduces stuffiness, and even helps regulate moisture in the air. It also helps you feel better. More awake. More energized. Our bodies respond to fresh air like plants to sunlight. We perk up. We breathe easier. Even in the winter, I recommend cracking open a window just a little. Let the air exchange happen. And during warmer months, make it part of your morning routine. Open the windows while you make coffee. Let the new day in. Sometimes the simplest habits are the most healing. Now let's move to a quiet little task that makes a big visual difference: dusting. Dust sneaks in everywhere. It settles on your bookshelves, TV stand, lampshades, window sills, places we barely notice until we suddenly see it and feel overwhelmed. But here's the secret: if you dust just a few spots every day, it never gets out of hand. I tell my patients to think small. Pick 5 spots. Wipe them down with a microfiber cloth. It could be your bedside table, your remote control, the top of your dresser. Places you see and touch daily. It takes 2 minutes. But it keeps your surfaces feeling fresh and polished without needing a full dusting day. And it's not just about looks. Dust can irritate your lungs, especially if you've got asthma or allergies. So keeping it under control isn't just about a clean home. It's about breathing easier, literally. So by now, maybe you're starting to see a pattern. These aren't hard chores. They're small acts of care. Done daily, they create a home that supports your peace of mind. And if that feels good to you, well, wait until you see what's coming next. Let's talk about the evening now, those quiet moments before bed, when your body is tired and your brain just wants to shut off. That's usually when people say, "I'll clean up tomorrow." But I want you to try something different. Just 10 minutes. That's all it takes to reset your space before the next day begins. You see, when you tidy up at night, you're giving your future self a gift. You're saying, "I've got you." And when you wake up to a clean living room, an empty sink, and a peaceful bedroom, you don't start the day behind. You start ahead. And that changes everything. I've seen this work wonders, especially for people who struggle with sleep or morning anxiety. You'd be surprised how much mental clutter comes from physical clutter. So what can you do in 10 minutes? Fold the throw blanket on the couch. Put the remote back. Clear the kitchen counters. Straighten the pillows. A quick sweep if you have the energy. That's it. I had a patient once, Linda, in her 70s. She told me she used to feel frazzled every morning. Then she started what she called her evening exhale. 10 minutes, lights low, soft music on, just gently putting her home to sleep. She said it made her feel calmer, more grounded. And her mornings? Peaceful again. Sometimes the smallest changes bring the biggest relief. Now here's a trick most people overlook, but it's incredibly effective. Keep your cleaning supplies within arm's reach. Sounds too easy, right? But think about it. How often have you noticed a little mess and said, "I'll clean that later," simply because the spray bottle or cloth was in another room? By the time you go get it, your mind's already moved on to something else. But when your supplies are right there, under the sink, in a basket near the couch, or tucked neatly in the bathroom cabinet, it takes 5 seconds to act. No delay. No dread. Just a quick wipe, and you're done. You don't need to stock every room like a janitor's closet. Just the basics: a microfiber cloth, a mild cleaner, maybe some disinfectant wipes. Keep them where messes tend to happen. Your bathroom, your kitchen, near your favorite chair. Cleaning becomes easy. Thoughtless, even. Not a chore, but a reflex. And the best part? When you stay on top of the little things, the big things rarely happen. Speaking of little things, let's talk about your floors. Now, I know what you're thinking: sweeping every day? That's too much. But hear me out. I'm not talking about dragging out the vacuum and going wall to wall. I'm talking about a 2-minute sweep of the kitchen after dinner. A quick pass through the hallway or entryway. Maybe the living room if you've got pets or guests. Our feet carry in dust, crumbs, hair, all the little debris we don't notice until it's everywhere. And once you feel it underfoot, suddenly, everything feels dirty, even if it's not. A simple broom or cordless vacuum can change that. Just a quick clean of high-traffic spots each day. Nothing major. But the impact? Huge. I had one patient, Tony, who swore sweeping was the best habit he ever picked up. He said, "It's not about dirt, it's about dignity. I feel better walking on clean floors." And you know what? He's right. Because at the end of the day, a clean home isn't just about appearance, it's about how it feels to live in it. And that brings me to something we rarely talk about, but it may be the most important habit of all. So here we are, the final habit. And it's one that doesn't involve a cloth or a broom or even getting out of your chair. It's this: take time to enjoy your clean home. That might sound obvious, even a little silly. But let me ask you, when was the last time you truly paused to appreciate your space? Not to clean it. Not to fix it. Just to sit in it. To be still. To breathe. To look around and say, "This feels good. I did this." We live in a world that constantly pushes us to the next task, the next errand, the next obligation. But when you slow down, even for 5 minutes, and sit with a hot cup of tea, or listen to a little music, or light a candle after tidying up, you're reinforcing something important. That you matter. That your comfort, your peace, your home, they're worth protecting. I had a lovely patient, Mrs. Chang. She kept the neatest little apartment I'd ever seen. And every evening, after doing her 10-minute tidy, she would sit by the window with her tea and just watch the trees. Sometimes a bird. Sometimes the neighbor's dog. She once told me, "My home is small, but it's mine. And when it's clean, it loves me back." I've never forgotten that. Because she was right. A clean home doesn't have to be perfect. It just has to support you. To give you room to think. To rest. To breathe deeply. To invite enjoy. And that's what these 12 habits do, not all at once, and not overnight, but gently. Bit by bit. Day by day. You don't need to do them all. Just start with one. Maybe it's making your bed in the morning. Or doing the dishes before bed. Maybe it's opening the window tomorrow while your coffee brews. Or sweeping the kitchen just before you sit down for the night. Start small. Stay kind to yourself. And notice how it changes the way your home feels and how you feel inside it. Because you deserve that peace. You've earned it. Now, if you found this helpful, give it a thumbs up. If not, type 0 in the comments, but if it helps, let us know by typing 1. And don't forget to subscribe for more life-saving health tips. Thanks for spending this time with me today. I hope your home feels a little lighter already. I'll see you in the next one.